Hey everybody. I'm okay, good. Just making sure that you can see this. I'm going to go over some documents. I was going over some documents the other day. I'm going to continue where I was discussing the case, my daughter's kidnapping, the man that kidnapped her, the fact that this is not a family dispute, this is not a disgruntled ex. This is not just a custody this is nothing small. This is huge. Okay, this is the biggest scandal in human history. The scandal involves me being born with the Christ strand, kept secret from me all my life. My family must have been told some lie, like I'm the serpent's seed. My mother, they did this to my mother too. This is that story of them trying to get rid of the bloodline because the bloodline never belonged to a boy. It can't. It comes from the mother. The whole world's convoluted. Needless to say, my daughter was kidnapped October 2016. It's almost 10 years. It's a long story. But not only is it the biggest scandal, they've stolen my genetic information. They've made the bio manufacturing industry trillions and trillions of dollars that my family is keeping hidden and secret. They tried to have me killed already. They're pissed that I'm not dead yet. They got my daughter. I don't know if she's dead or alive. So it's not only the genetic information they're trying to steal and the sequences and the information they're trying to steal from us, but they're trying to like literally steal. They've been torturing us for 10 years. And we're worth more than they're trying to take paradise from everybody, obviously by killing me. It's not like you can take my brain and get the information. I'm the key. I'm the key. I've got the genetic upgrade. When you interact with me, it helps your frequency. Okay, I'm the skilled individual that's here to captain us. I know what I'm doing. Like I'm a captain. These guys. God's been guiding me. So I'm trying to put this documentation on the record so that those of you who like to jump to conclusions can be no one has, not even the courts, looked at my paperwork. Everybody just blew me off because I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm talking about. And this guy can't hold a candle to me. Well, that's what proves that this was done to me. And I'm going to go over. I've got some documentation I want to go over, and I've even gotten some conversations with ChatGPT where we discuss the science of it. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, okay. So, I'm starting with, I don't even need to wear these. I said the following evidence documents the court's failure to acknowledge that anything was granted on October 25th, 2016. By the way, the docket for Ventura has been so meddled with, but the docket doesn't even show that the case was heard that day, which was the basis on which Jorge acquired illegal, unlawful possession. That which has remained. He won't even call me back. The system has done this, California. This is control issues of a mentally insane criminal and corruption on the inside of Ventura and Los Angeles. So this is a printout of the docket as of 2017. After this happened, okay. After this happens to have, again, in 2012 there was a child support matter that I opened because he was coming around at like 9 o'clock, tripping out, acting like, who's you got up in there? And someone at work told me, just put some child support on him. That'll get rid of him. Well, I'm not blaming her. It was my choice. But that, he got the vendetta to take my child. But he always had the vendetta. Let's just be honest here. So my daughter's name is not Alexandria Vasquez, but you see how they've got it in the system showing Alexandria Vasquez? I've got her. This was in 2017. Her name was legally changed to Hemi. And it was never Vasquez. He bullied me in the hospital. He's not my ex-husband. He wasn't even raising her with me. I hate getting so angry about this, but this is the world. The world wants to traffic children and traffic mothers and nuclear reactor them. These parasites are going to get in trouble. So I'm going to try to keep my cool, especially when I'm talking about their docket, their fucking bullshit lies. Well, you can go over this information if you want any more details. I'm just going to jump to the parts. 2012, he abducted her. In the beginning of 2014, basically. They didn't. Okay, I'm just not giving. They should. I said it in the previous video. They should not. He abducted her. He should have been arrested. He should not have gotten custody. But they forced me into it and threatened me. That right there is when they lost jurisdiction. They lost jurisdiction, but they try and they attempt and they can carried on in the manner as if to maintain it, as if they had valid jurisdiction. They know that I didn't know. They've got people in those courts, family courts, mediators. They make it act like we'll help you through the process. It's absolute violence. So the day this shows on 25th, nothing. They didn't say anything was done. This was in 2017. But now it says completed. I got this documented. I even have in all of my places many of these dockets printed because I knew that it would be valid information. I was documenting the malfeasance on the docket. There's so many things that are just questionable. All I'm going to say is, again, I'm not trying to do this all right here, but I'm saying Ventura, and Los Angeles. Los Angeles has the false charges that I didn't even know I had against me because he stole my phone number and had a warrant put out on my arrest from the county where he was at, because I tried to file a complaint against them and they're all satanic. So that just showed you. They didn't even say that there was anything that was done because in the dark it doesn't show it was heard, because this is a miscarriage of justice. Failed to assess. I went over these yesterday. Well, this is the truth. The court's supposed to do this, and they didn't. I mean, I even show them this kind of information. I'm the kind of person that goes to the juror packets and checks off my boxes. That's how I am. They didn't assess. They didn't assess anything. They didn't assess his criminal history. Okay, I don't get so worked up. So I think it was like 148 where I was at. It's so frustrating because of how people treat. All I can tell you is this. My daughter and I are going through this because this is a mission that we're on. Both my daughter and I are here helping humanity. Her and I are on the front lines. On the front lines. My daughter's more brave than I am. She left me clues when she was 5 years old from the future in the past. She is the presence of the Lord in the land. No joke. You're going to find out that I've got the proof. I've got more than the proof. I've got overwhelming proof. And I simply am sequestered and silenced and shadow banned and everything that they can do to throw in my way. They interfere. They interfere with my communications. They interfere with my internet. They interfere with my computers. They interfere with everything. They're doing human research experimentation on me and my daughter. Everybody's been signed on to this. Anyhow. So here's the rules and procedures for child removal by state. Again, they'd have to follow protocol. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to do anything when these are the forms that they'd have to fill out. You'd have to fill it out with your school, and you'd have to put a notice of emergency removal to the school, and the school the school even called her last name Vasquez. It's because he's been talking to them behind my back, and that's all the man has to do, is because the world hasn't caught on to the fact that these are traffickers, these are seduction racket criminal traffickers, pedophiles. They'd have to follow a process. You can't even the child support, even the void custody order said you can't move anybody away 15 miles without a court order. I was in court less than 6 months prior to this day. There's no legal jurisdiction. October 25th, 2016. So this was when he kidnapped her, when he abducted her the first time, for 34 days. This is the forced joint custody for mediation. But again, she's my daughter. He's not my husband. He's a sexual batterer. Did anybody ask me any questions? Nope. Gets me so angry. I'll try to do this so that you can read things if you want to slow things down and read them. Go for it. This guy's a liar, creep. He was living with his mother in her senior citizens home. This is that fraudulent void order. He didn't even sign it, you see? It's all just such fraud. That's today, 4/14. Isn't that something? So that's 10 years ago. That's 11 years ago. That date was. Dear God. Dina Marshall, she's going to go to prison. Carla Hartley, she's going to go to prison. Derek Milan, he's going to go to prison. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, if I've got anything to do with it, I'm not letting you guys off the hook. You guys aren't having any dignity or any integrity or anything. I brought him to court 3 times, trying to get the custody back. And undone. He was fucking around. No, they made it worse on me every single time. This guy hadn't even been around. He's an estranged man. He's a stranger, and he absolute terror, absolute terrorism, absolute terrorism. This was the paperwork that I had submitted to this Las Vegas court demanding a domestic violence restraining order and to move the jurisdiction over here and to make my daughter. So I coulda, woulda, should have been a writ of habeas corpus, but I wasn't trying to be like. I didn't. Anyway, I'm not a lawyer, so this is what I had done, and this was 2021, 2022, August. Pretty sure. Yeah, yeah. See your name, Alex. I even hyphenated his last name, but he was never my husband. So this is to the women. Don't ever give your child his last name. That's what they want. We're changing everything. We're changing everything. You know what? The number one cause of pregnancy is sexual battery. And I'm going to change the laws so that every unmarried woman who ends up pregnant can throw the man in the slammer for 30 years. That ought to teach you not to have sex with a woman that's not your wife and that you are trying to get pregnant. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. He's not the father. Oh, they love doing a woman in. Oh, they love it. And I'm not, the reason why I'm not going through this, these are, I don't, there's no petty argument going on here. I have lots of evidence. I documented everything for the judge. They did me in. They did me my daughter. They did my daughter. This is all about what they did to her. February, that's when I was filing because I was there less than 6 months prior to it. So then they ended up scheduling it for June, but it was from an event that happened in February. He lies through his teeth. He says he lies through his teeth, but God gives me the information to prove it. God's had me God's been guiding me all my life. Now I know. and I'm here to show everybody how Alex, show everybody how I'm getting through this and how I've connected with God so that everybody else can. But make no mistake, I am not any antichrist. I am not any liar. I'm not any bad guy. I'm the Christ, the sealed arm of Gadon. Okay, talk about being pierced for the transgressions of others. Yeah. So this isn't any like show of excellence. I've been forced through the fire by the hand of God. Yeah, he just lies through his teeth. That was for June. She did me even. She did me an even harder. I was demanding to stop the visitation. The fucking wench. You're going to prison, Dina Marshall. All of you. This whole system is coming down. Okay? The whole system is coming down. It's God's paradise, God's kingdom, God's rules. And I'm the one that God's giving the authority to. And you guys just were waiting for what? For a pissed off guy to show up with a sash that you slaughtered? I mean, what are you guys looking forward to? What are you looking for? They don't know what they're looking for. Notes. I got notes for. I got notes. I got all the evidence. All the evidence. Nobody's looked at anything. No one's asked to see anything because they're greedy and they want the money and they want me dead. It wasn't valid. I shouldn't have written that there. I was trying to say, yeah. Anyway, I should get that out of there. That's not valid. The 24th, I got a phone call saying there was an ex parte tomorrow. Nothing about relocating a child to Los Angeles. Nothing about removal from my physical legal custody. Nothing about supervised visitation. I said I would have gotten an attorney that day. Unlawful relocation with child. Orders are void for every reason. And they also, because they lost jurisdiction back in 2014, little did I know. And they carried on as if they still had it. They lost jurisdiction. They were never supposed to put my daughter in harm's way with this man. They failed to assess his criminal record. They failed to assess the history of his violence. And they took advantage of a situation with a person who doesn't know. They take advantage of all of us. Fraud on the court. It's void, not voidable, but void. So I was there the day before on 10/20, trying to schedule my own ex parte. I brought a box of things for the ladies to go to help me, and they were so mean to me. They were the same lady that helped me the very first time get my daughter back from the abduction is the same person who started filling out this form, but we didn't end up scheduling it. They sent me home. The judge isn't gonna file. They're not gonna file this. She says. Well, the first she says is the judge can't read this. Like send it back. I had to rewrite it, and then they're not gonna file this. They sent me away. I was scheduling the court. They sent me away. It's as if they knew something because I also went to the district attorney and told her I wanted a domestic violence restraining order. That there's something up. That this needs to stop, and she said no. So that's documentation that I was already doing this prior to. I get a phone call then on Monday morning saying there's an ex parte. I don't realize that there's anything else I have to do. I was on my way to file the document that I was sent home to go fix. Oh, they handed it to me before. So October 25th. They didn't give me proper notice. They didn't notify me. That's false. Look, I didn't get a copy of this until I didn't even have time to read through the thing when they tried to hand me the answers. Look, doesn't have a box checked. Shows me as the petitioner. It shows me as the petitioner. That's them. Huh. And Jorge is the respondent. Look. And then it gives it to Allison, and it says Allison's respondent. Well, which one is it? That's where his attorney filled out her information. Hello? Hello? That's my name. Look, child custody goes to the respondent. I'm right here. The respondent. That's not even her name. But do you see how it's who's who? This is absolutely one of those things that makes it void. No name, no case number. It's also not allowed to when you have pages, when you have multiple pages that have the judge's signature. He can't sign something that isn't labeled. That's also dated a day before, and the judge acknowledged it. I said that's dated the 24th. This was signed the day beforehand. Document not compliant. They go hand in hand and they are inconsistent to one another. Dated the day before the document filed. Confirms that the temporary order was not even intended. Okay, so it's not even checked. So do you see what I'm saying? Nothing is filled out. These are the That's another copy of it. That's the one that's supposed to happen next. That's the notice I'm supposed to get for what's happening next. Well, what's happening next? What's on November 18th? Well, what is it? It doesn't even order you anything. It doesn't even say that there's anything ordered. Again, that's not her name. Her name is Hemi Vasquez, and there's got to be a reason. Vague. There's nothing checked right here, so you can't have any attachments. Doesn't complete it. Doesn't. It's just absolute violence. Look, doesn't check anything. There's nothing attached. PDF signature. I mean, come on. Look, it was faxed in on the. So that's my point. This doesn't even. And here's the rules, and I show them how it doesn't follow the rules. So I did everything. I dotted my T's. I did everything that I could to put this package together to show the judge. Look, look, look. I walked it through. You know what the judge said here in Vegas? She dismissed it, and she said she recommended that I get psychological help, which is better than her trying to order me to get psychological help. But my point is that what a fucking bitch. All of them are in on it. All I have to do is put notes in the system, and they'll follow it. Well, they're all in trouble. So everything else is void. Void, 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 void. Void, 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 void. I don't even want to go into I've got so much information. I gave him requests for admissions. I went over the situation, my concerns about him being in a cartel. I laid it out. And I'm like trying to rush away from it. And it's like, this is what I'm trying to do this for. It's so frustrating. It is so, it's like there's something, it's almost as if there is a curse connected to it. Like I get so frustrated. Because I don't know if my daughter's dead or alive right now. So yeah. But I'm documenting this nonetheless. This piece of shit can't hold a candle to me. I shouldn't even be having to go this far. My family, what are they waiting for? They're embezzlers. The federal government's embezzler. All you guys are the ones that are in trouble. So they're just hoping I shut up and die, or die, and so I can shut up. Well, God's going to do something. God's going to cause me to move in the ways that is necessary. That's what I have absolute faith in. But I can't even get an attorney to call me back. So this is just a game by bullies and cowards. This is all on the record in Ventura. California, you're fired. I mean, and I was in the court like every single day for like, this is a slow, torturous murder, is what it is. Yep. Due process, collateral estoppel, equitable power, clean hands doctrine. He never responded. He never did a point for point. These pieces of shit. We're talking even after this. I brought the 31 counts of contempt and I got them scheduled, but they prevented me from getting to court, and then they dismissed it with prejudice. I'm telling you, Lund, you're going to prison. And since I'm a very intelligent person, is why my case is going to be the perfect case when when I get in charge, and I correct the matters that are, I correct this situation. My case and my intelligence and my circumstance, that's exactly why God has done it this way, because it perfectly represents the faults in the whole entire system. A person can't do this stuff. You guys, it's a barrier to justice, and so on and so forth. And you guys are going to be held accountable for it. I don't know why you trusted that there was a thing called immunity when that doesn't even make sense with the oath of your job. But God, not in God's paradise. God is raw truth. Yep. If you can't even come to truth, you don't qualify. He's got another wife in Utah. Still, at the time they had just refinanced a house. It's like, what the hell is going on with this guy? Is a psychopath. This guy is dangerous. This guy killed a cat, made it look like it was my cat, stole my cat so that my cat would be over at his house so that they could lure my daughter in. And, oh, look, he said to her one day, she goes, what happened to Sylvester? And he goes, oh, don't you remember? Our cat died the same night your cat died. After they had already stolen the cat and had it there for like 6 months. It was to let ALEK know that, remember, cats die when little girls say things and tell on bad guys. I'm not even kidding around. I will personally kick each of you pieces of shit in the balls. I will kick you in the balls so hard you will fly to Mars. I will personally see to it that I kick each and every one of you in the balls if you don't face the truth with integrity. Kitty, did you get that? Make sure you line them up. And get me my boots. It's all fraud. Everything that they did. This situation is absolutely disgusting. They try to send you back to your home state just to go get fucked up the ass again by the same court. You guys are all fired. That's the level that this is at. The level is not, I'm going to come into your jurisdiction and play your dumb games. The level is, I'm going to take authority over the whole entire situation, and you all are going to sit down or get the fuck out. That's what. There's a new guard, all right? There's a new sheriff in town, and I don't have to ask for your permission. And you know what? The whole entire world is fucking happy about it. The only poor sports in the room are you. And there's no way to be perfect about anything. So they just fuck you and fuck you and fuck you some more. I'm telling you, you're all going to prison. You're the exemplars. You're the exemplars. Don't ever do like these guys, and that's a big pile of you. Yeah, that's right. All of you connected to this heist. No, you're not allowed to push it to the last minute. I already told you. I already told you what you had to do. You haven't done it. It's absolute madness. You men are insane. And you know it. You know that you're hate-filled, murderous perverts. Yep. And you're greedy. He's a liar. He said that you did this at 6 p.m. It was like, it's high noon. High noon in your dumb photograph, ding dong. You fucking liar. So, they just carry, this is again just pretending like any of this is valid. It's not. None of this is valid. I'm not even going to look at this shit. What else is here? Again, just more bullshit. Just more bullshit. $1,200 a month. They've got a $200,000 mortgage against my name, so I can't have my identification and my passport. It's because they do you in. What did I say? So I filed the contempt. I finally got that done by June of 2017. That felt like the longest time forever. I died in the between there. I died. That's when I interfaced with God. Right around that February, March. Absolute violence. I couldn't even believe this. 31, look, prosecuted as criminal contempt. Affidavit of facts. I, Alison Hemi, Sweethery, free, natural, personal rights reserved, sovereign state, citizen, I shouldn't have put that there. Well, now I know. You don't do that. That's a misnomer. Move the court to familiarize itself with the case file and history of orders and pleadings and declarations submitted, as well as familiarize itself with the list of chronologically ordered records, which can be found at the top of the relevant evidence package submitted 12/30/2016 and filed January 11th, which submitted, it should have been filed on the 30th, but whatever. I beseech your judicial excellence to facilitate relief for what is appropriate and see, I'm too nice. I don't want to read it. If you want to read it, feel free. Contempt charges. Take judicial notice of the exhibits and documents I filed. 4 files, including large chronological package of relevant evidence, along with the request to vacate, with leave to amend. I mean, I'm doing a good job here. Yeah, that's right. He told me he would slay me in court. I'm just remembering all this. My God, it's a miscarriage of justice. Delayed hearings. These pieces of shit. Contempt. This is what the judge wrote on there. These are copies of the papers from the court. Proven. Look, count 1. He's the one that counted the counts. We're already up to count 20, count 31, count 32. 32 counts. But there was more. That wasn't it. See, he forgot to do these ones, which is like another 1, 2, 3, 4. Which, by the way, actually, yeah, that's right. Those are individual. But had he recognized this right here, see, this is probably when he stopped. He's like, God damn it. There's 1, 2 right there. There's 1, 2, 3. 3 of those. Oh, wait a minute. This is a different charge. Violated orders issued. Well, that's another order of that's another contempt charge. That's one. Yep. Those are additional contempt charges. And then I said, look, he didn't even do this. I said perjury ×1, declaration submitted, and I provided the proof. Perjury ×1, declaration submitted, page 5. This is 1, 2. Did you see that? I got another one. Perjury ×1, declaration submitted, and I provided proof. And I also demanded extra proof to validate his thing. So we're talking 3. What else? I got another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 charges of perjury plus parental kidnapping. Okay, this was all scheduled in a hearing that they prevented me from getting to, and they dismissed it with prejudice, acting like they had called me to court. Mediator's failures, by the way. This is also something I wanted to charge against because it also involves him too. But the mediator failed. 1, 2, 3, all of this. All the time. Every single time. I laid it out. Yeah, it took me 6 months. Well, actually, it took me it took me from like February, March to June. I was on top of this because that was after the last thing I had filed. I dial it. I explain it. I explain it thoroughly. My printer got broken the day again. I've been assaulted. The wind would pick up on the days that I went to the court. I mean, it's like I've been so assaulted. So assaulted. I had to handwrite it because I broke my printer. So the one I submitted to the court is this must have been my copy or something. Yeah, that's what I would have done is keep a copy. But this was more charges. An affidavit of contempt. I wasn't done yet. I had more. Okay? These were additional acts of contempt. He would have had like 45 contempt. This is like, you get 6 months apiece. It's 20 years. That's why they did it like this. Because they had a whole game plan that involved him being out and me being the bad guy. And that's when they turned it around on me. That's when they started hunting me. That's when he got some kind of charges against me without my knowledge, had a warrant when I didn't even know. So that's what they did. They set me up. That's when he stole my cell phone number. Telecommunications interference all day long. Who knows what he did with my phone? And acting like he was me or something. So I had all of this. I had to handwrite that day. I remember I had to write it twice too. I gave him a handwritten copy as well. They gave him a public defender. He had an attorney. Well, they gave him a public defender. This is the response from when? Must have had that out of order. Because this is from like August, September, June, maybe. I don't know. Request for order. This is the response. Oh, yeah. This is the response to 32 counts of contempt and plagiary times 6. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything. Not point for point. He's just bullshitting through his teeth. He's such a creep. He is so creepy the way he talks, even. Just you can hear it in his. The way he talks is so disgusting. He's a pedophile. He missed the first court date. They issued a warrant against him. Well, they didn't. They acted like, and this was after the fact, like down the road, they backdated those documents and acted like they did this, which was pretend that then his attorney showed up, the public defender, and got it back on the court, but then they couldn't get rid of me. So then they got rid of his warrant and they unable to locate Mrs. Hemming. What the fuck? You guys sent me home. They did me in again. There's no way. There's no way to know how to know what you're up against until you get up against it. It's violence. Oh yeah, this was the guy, the cartel guy that they sent in to assault me and to try to get. I called the police on him like 12 times. I called the police on him again, and I told them that I threw water on him. That's why they arrested me. Because I told them I threw water on him. But I called on him. Trying to get me caught in a loop. Look, here's a picture. I happen to have been recording when he was being, because he had me by wireless. The police wouldn't help. I was imprisoned by this man for a year. That's the guy I met on February 19th. Same date as that birthday of that profile from the Visalia case, the massacre case. He just lied. Was being harassed by a gang member. Oh yeah, that's what the day can't get there. There's a police incident. I called, I left message. There's nothing. They don't fucking care. Oh yeah, that's when again they took me to jail. I had no idea there was even any charges. They made it all up. The people in Ventura, they tried to set me up. They planted 2 pipes underneath the table before he left the room. I was all officer, and I was able to catch him. So God's been on my back, but they have tried to fuck me so hard. This was the last time I ever talked to her. When I had my dad call him and go, what's going on? He sent me a no contact order, trying to lure me back into California, knowing that I would get killed if I went there. I submitted my response to it, but they rejected it. It's not even filled out. He doesn't have any. He asked for it to be done immediately. They denied that, but then they scheduled it. They scheduled it for mediation. I can't come to California. Do the courts take any of those into consideration when they schedule these things? No, they don't. The legal system is broken. All I can say is I'm looking forward to spitting on it and throwing it all away. There's no rhyme or reason to anything in the system, and you guys are going. I don't even want to talk to those of you who have a problem with it. Such a liar. He's a drug counselor of like teenagers. He's a pedophile. He was already diagnosed with something that needed medication. That's when they met him. Look, no contact order. Look, is there anything that you said? It's void. They lost jurisdiction back in 2014. There's no explanation. That's not even her last name. There's no explanation. No reasoning, no verification, no nothing. Just never talk to your mother again? Jorge, I'm gonna hang you by the hairs of your balls. I'm gonna let you hang there till you dry up and rot. That's what you deserve. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have a problem with that? Because if you've got a problem with holding creeps accountable, I got a problem with you. I should take a deep breath. That was enough for a minute. Everything is always backwards and backwards and backwards. The docket, they change it. Ventura, you're fucked. Everybody's fucked, right? Just tell everybody, you're fucked. That's how I feel. And God's showing me to know the authority that I'm being given. I'm telling you, you guys have really pushed it. You guys should have taken it. You should have taken me when it hadn't gone too far. Because then I'm going to find out what my powers really are. And then I'm going to use them.